If you're interested in makeup, beauty, or skincare, Ulta is one of the best places that you can work. And getting a job there is incredibly competitive. But it's about to be a lot less competitive for you. Because in today's video, I'm going to give you 9 of the actual interview questions they're going to ask during your interview. And I'm going to teach you from a recruiter's perspective exactly how to answer them so you stand out as the best and most hireable candidate. Now, this is video 1 in a 5-part series. So make sure you watch to the very end, because at the very end of this video, I will actually tee up the next one right here so you can go seamlessly from this video to the next one. All right, let's get started. Now, the first question they're going to ask you is, do you have any experience in the beauty industry? And now, if you have experience here, this is a great time to share that experience. Now, my advice as a recruiter in answering this is you want to make sure you you share with them like completely, like all the different stops you had, whether it's 1 stop or 3, share with them, but also be concise. It's also really important that they can hear the passion there. It's not good enough to say, I worked here, then I worked there, then I worked there. That's my experience. No, they need to understand and feel that you have passion around that. So you want to say something along the lines of, I've got 5 years experience in the industry. From this period to this, I worked at this location and I had this responsibility and I really enjoyed it. From there, I moved on to here and then I had another 3 years experience doing blank, right? So you get what I'm saying there. There's energy, there's enthusiasm, and they can feel this. Now, if you don't have experience, what you want to say is, I don't have any experience in the industry yet. However, and then you want to explain that you are interested in the industry, you are passionate about it, and it is something that you have a hobby around, right? Like you keep up with current trends by watching YouTube and you're a big fan and you try to inform yourself, etc. What you're trying to do here is show them, yes, I don't have this experience as of right now, but it's not an issue because I am informed, I am passionate, and this is something I'm very interested in. And that should be enough to get you over that hurdle. The next question is, how would you handle a customer who is unhappy with their purchase? Now, if you're going to be in a customer-facing role, this is an incredibly common question to get during an interview. So you want to be prepared to answer this. Now, first things first, I think it's important to understand here, this role is very customer focused, right? So you want to make sure that anytime they're asking a question around customers, you want to answer in a way that shows, you are sympathetic to the customer's needs and you are attentive and opportunistic, right? So when they ask you this question specifically, you want to let them know that, well, first and foremost, I'd ask them what happened, what was wrong with the project. I would listen to them, understand what their issue was, and then I would show them another product that might better suit their needs. And I would help them find additional product that they could exchange it for. And if they weren't interested in exchange, then I'd apologize that they weren't happy with it, and I'd do the return, right? But basically what you're doing there is you're showing them there that you have the appropriate temperament to deal with a customer who is unhappy. You'd calmly listen to them, try to understand their predicament. If there was a better product that would be more suited to fit their needs, you would share that with them so they could understand there's a different solution. And if they weren't interested in that, you would do the return and make sure they still had a great experience. That's what you want to convey when you answer this question. The next question is, what is your approach to great customer service? This is a great question, and it should be relatively easy to answer as long as you're prepared. And I think it's key here to state a few things. One, everybody's idea of customer service is going to be different for them. So you want to meet the customer where they're at. But in addition to that, what you really want to do is you really want to engage with them, ask questions, listen to them, and be friendly. Those are basic fundamentals for positive customer service. So when you're answering this question, it might sound something like this. That's a really good question. In my previous roles, some of the things I think are really important in showing good customer service is to be very friendly, right? You want to create an environment they want to be in, a great atmosphere, ask questions, show interest and enthusiasm, and be helpful. And make sure that you're able to satisfy whatever it is they came in looking for. Something like that is a great way to answer the question. Make it your own, but use that as kind of a general way to approach answering. The next question is, are you familiar with Ulta's products and services? Pretty easy question here, right? It should be yes. If you're not familiar, but you're about to go interview, familiarize yourself because you want to say yes here. You don't want to say no. No is not a good answer, but this is a good opportunity. I'm assuming it's yes if you're watching this video and you're interviewing there. This is a really good opportunity to demonstrate some passion. So you could say, oh, absolutely. I've been a big fan of Ulta for some time, and I've purchased a handful of products here over the years that are part of my everyday routine or whatever, right? But show some enthusiasm. Now, whenever you're showing some enthusiasm for a brand during an interview, it's important to not go over the top. You don't want to seem like an obsessed, crazed fan, but you do want to come off as someone who is passionate and has interest in a balanced way. So this is a great opportunity to say yes, affirm your interest in the brand, their products and services, and demonstrate a bit of passion without going overboard. This next question is, how do you handle difficult interactions with customers? This is a great question, and I think this is one of those ones where it gets a bit complicated because it's easy to answer this in a way that won't put you in the best light. My advice here is it's really important to share with them that you'll be empathetic to their needs and you'll listen, and you will remain calm. So those are things that are really important. When someone comes in and they're really angry, it's easy to receive some of that emotion and in turn be emotional yourself. But that's not the response you want if you're going to be in a customer service position. So this is the way I might answer that. That's a really good question. In some of the past roles, I have handled customers who have been unhappy and have come in, and that was very clear they are unhappy. And I think there's a few things that are important as a customer service person. I think one, it's important for you not to get emotional, right? You need to remain calm so you can help navigate through the situation. Then I think it's important to demonstrate some empathy. Let them know that you're sorry that they're unhappy with things. Ask questions to find out what happened and why they're unhappy, and then work to do whatever you can to remedy the situation for them. So at the end of the day, when they leave the store, they're happy with the outcome. And I think that's the most important thing when you're dealing with an upset customer. There you go. That's a great way to answer it. If you say something like that, you'll absolutely nail it. The next question is, what strategies do you take to build relationships with customers? This is a really great question because it lets you know a little bit about their expectation, right? If you're coming into the role, they want someone who's going to build relationship with their customers, create a great environment for them so they are motivated to make purchases and return and make additional purchases. So there's a few things here. I think this is a pretty easy question to answer, but I think you want to make sure you do a few things. You're friendly, you're asking them questions, you're complimenting them or complimenting them on their choices. Either one works. And I think those are the things that are engaging with them, right? So I think it's really important that you ask questions, you're friendly, you're complimentary. And if you can do those things, and if you say that during your answer, I think you'll answer this question quite well. The next question is, describe your experience with diverse teams and customers. So this is really interesting, right? When someone asks you, tell me about your experience doing this, it means they want you to have experience doing that. So the ideal candidate will have experience in a diverse team, and they will have experience dealing with a diverse customer base. So you want to share that you have done that, right? So you want to share what your diverse team was or what your diverse customer base was. But then it's also important that you're enthusiastic about that. You embrace that. So I'm going to make up a fictitious answer here, but this is what it might sound like. Hey, Ben, why are you, give me your experience working with a diverse team. Yeah, that's a really good question. So the last job that I was at, I worked at Sephora, and we were part of a very diverse team, and we had people from all different backgrounds and experiences, and honestly, it was great. I found that the team got along really well, but everybody's different perspectives also helped us. It was great having different perspective, different opinions on things, and I think it really broadened my perspective and helped me learn a little bit more about the industry. Right? That is a good way to answer that question. It shows that A, you have done it, and B, it was a positive, and C, you benefited from it. All those things are good ways to answer the question. This next question is, how do you keep up with the latest beauty trends? Now, I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you probably have an answer for this. I think it's important to give them your answer and be enthusiastic, okay? Those are the two basic things. You're probably hearing a theme throughout this, and that's passion. Passion sells. People want to hire passionate people. Two equally qualified candidates, they're always going to go with a more passionate candidate. Whatever your answer here is probably fine, right? You can say you watch YouTube, you watch people like Alana Davis or Jamie Page or whatever, people who are makeup influencers, and you watch their reviews on products, then you go and you try them out, etc. Whatever you find here that you want to say is probably going to be a good answer. You just have to be confident, enthusiastic, and informed. The next question is, what are some of your favorite beauty products and why? So this is, totally up to you, right? Just, you probably have your favorite products. But I think it's important to Again, be informed. You don't want to stumble over this. You need to have a few ready. Otherwise, it's going to seem like maybe you're making it up or you're not super informed or prepared. So you want to have examples. You want it to be examples they carry, right? So if it's something that they don't carry, but it's like at Sephora, that's probably not great. And you want to show enthusiasm. And if you can do that, you're going to answer that question great. Now, these have all been some basic questions, but there are other questions that Ulta is going to ask during your interview, specifically behavioral interview questions. They're some of the more difficult questions to ask during an interview. So I made this video here. This is the next video in the series, and this is all about how to answer behavioral interview questions that they actually ask during the Ulta interview. So I'm done here, but I will see you over there.